Hello there, guys. Welcome to the channel and hope you all are doing well today. So it's Friday, March 13th, 2026, and after the Champions League humbling in Paris, Chelsea travel north to face Newcastle United at the St. James Park. And this is just another game that isn't just about 3 points this time around, it's about salvaging pride and providing as improving resilience and showing the footballing world that the PSG disaster was a painful but an isolated learning experience. Okay, so let's not just sugarcoat it because 5-2 defeat to PSG was frankly devastating. We saw flashes of brilliance, moments where we truly matched them, but then the collapse was was just unbearable for me. Okay, Liam Rosenior, to his credit, fronted and he admitted mistakes. He admitted mistakes happens. Saying I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So sometimes they're more costly and more painful than other times, and this is one of those moments. It took the blame and credit to him, and he actually said that it's on him and it needs to be better in moments. And this is this is humility, and humility is very important. Okay, but the question remains, what action follows this admission? Because we've heard Luis Enrique from PSG talk about stability, maintaining a system even when things get tough. Okay, yet Rosenau's tenure has been marked by what many perceive as constant tinkering, switching formations, and most importantly, uh, rotating players. The search result highlighted this, noting Enrique's advice for Rosenior to look in the mirror. To salvage the season, we need to be consistent. We need consistency, and the players need to know their roles. They need to know the system within which they play, and inside out, instead of adapting to new setups every other week. And speaking of players, the mentality after that third goal was very, very alarming. Ill discipline, almost as one pundit put it, throwing away games. We saw moments like Enzo Fernandez frustration and Pedro Neto incident with the ball boy. These are signs that pressure is boiling over, and this is a young squad, but at the same time, at this level, you have to manage this moment. And Roshan himself acknowledged that the team's ability or inability rather to maintain our calm in moments, okay, when we have setback is the biggest required action. And that's the biggest required action for me. Okay, and it needs to instill a steeliness, a maturity to ride out storms. And this Newcastle game is a perfect acid test for that um, situation. Now, onto our opponent, Newcastle are coming off their own Champions League drama, where they had 1-1 draw against Barcelona at St. James Park. On paper, it's a decent result, but a late penalty denied them a famous win after Avi Burns had put them ahead. So Eddie Howe called it one of their best performances, and despite the signal of a late penalty, they will take confidence from largely dominating an European giant, and they'll be psychologically regrouping after that late disappointment. And what better way to do it than by taking down a reeling Chelsea side? So outside is typically high pressing. They are physical and known for uh their relentless energy. They operate mostly in a 4-3-3 stroke 4-5-1 shape, and their ability to reorganize and press intelligently has been lauded. At St. James Park, they're a formidable force, and they've won five and drawn one of their last eight home games in the Premier League. However, a key vulnerability has emerged, and they've conceded in every of the last nine Premier League games, and it's a concerning defensive drop-off. Possibly could be attributed to injuries to key defenders like Livermento Botman, and even Dan Burns. And this provides Chelsea with uh, an opportunity, but it also means Newcastle will be doubly determined to shut us out. And when you look at the table, they've dropped 11 points from leading positions this season, similar to our own struggles, and they understand the need for ruthlessness. Now, coming off Barcelona and playing us, and then having to travel to Spain for the second leg against Barca, their schedule looks very demanding, and this could mean either fatigue or an even more galvanized performance from a side used to battling. We have to be prepared for the latter. So without wasting much of our time, I'm going to go straight into my own predicted lineup. But I need you to understand that this video is coming out before the press conference, the Chelsea pre-match press conference. So this is just me uh, giving my own lineup without getting any updates regarding the team's injury list and all that. Next, I'm just going to go with the idea, the injury list that, I mean, the conference before the game against PSG, that all players were fit and available for selection except Esteval. So I'm going to go with Sanchez in goal because after Philip Jorgensen's costly error against PSG, despite Liam Rosenior's defense, the return of Sanchez just makes sense for me. Sanchez is an outstanding goalkeeper. Okay, and for me, he's been top three this season. Okay, in the Premier League, and it just makes sense for me. Okay, especially when it comes to claiming crosses, is an outstanding shot stopper. I believe that the third goal or even the fourth goal scored by Australia, I believe that if we had Sanchez in goal, Sanchez would have done better than what Jorgensen did. And this is just my own opinion. You guys can tell me what you guys think because I think Sanchez would do very well to parry the ball to the side rather than just ball watching. Okay, we all know Robert Sanchez to be very, very reactive and responsive when it comes to shot stopping and all that. So he will need to be commanding against a physical, imposing Newcastle side, and this is about stability for me between the sticks. So in defense, I'm going to go with James, Chaloba, Mamadou Sa, and Joel Ato. And this is going to be a very young, potentially fluid backline. I'm going with Sa because I believe right now maybe Fofana just needs to just rest a bit. It doesn't mean that Chaloba has been great, especially against the PSG side. Both of them were very, very, they looked bang average. Chaloba was caught out a few times. Same thing for Wesley Fofana, who most times than not happened to be, it seemed lost. It seemed lost against PSG, and I think that we should rest Fofana. If you ask me to choose between Chaloba and Fofana, I'm going to go with Chaloba because Chaloba most times than not is more consistent than Fofana. So I'm going to go with Chaloba and Sa as the two centre back pairing with Jorel, had to giving Cucurella much needed time to rest for this game. He's also going to bring Rhys James back to his preferred position. His leadership will be very paramount, especially coming off uh, the PSG defeat. Sorry, I've got serious sore throat. Okay, Chalobah brings some experience, but the inclusion of Mamadou Sarr and Joel Ato, who are young, signals a high risk, high reward strategy for me. But they are likely chosen for their pace and perhaps ball playing ability. We all know Sarr to be a very good ball user and is very good at playing out from the back. But against Newcastle's relentless pressing and physicality, their defensive organization and decision making will be tested severely. So this is a huge ask for such a raw defensive unit, especially in hostile environment like that of the St. James Park. Now I'm going to go in my midfield pivot of Caicedo and Andre Santos. I would have gone with Romeo Lavia, but I think that we need to slowly get Romeo Lavia into. We need to slowly build Lavia's fitness and all that. So I'm going with Santos because something I noticed about the in the PSG game was that we looked defensively inorganized in the absence of Andre Santos. Okay, when we have Santos playing and covering the back line, we look more. We are able to play our game and without having to worry uh so much. Santos does most of the dirty jobs and cleaning up, like much like Moses Caicedo does, but he does it in a very cleaner and calmer way. And I think for me, we missed Santos in the game against PSG. I think the mistake, one of the mistakes was using Rhys James in the midfield to partner Caicedo instead of sticking him in his preferred position, which is a right back. Uh, but then it's a formula that worked against PSG in the Club World Cup. So I'm not going to outrightly drag Rosenior for using the same blueprint or trying to use the same blueprint. But there's something that Andre Santos offers this Chelsea, especially when it comes with the way we play and all that. I think it gives Chelsea the opportunity to be able to play from the back. At the same time, we have a defensive cover, a unit that is covering the defense line. So I'm going to go with Santos and Moses Caicedo as my midfield pivot, and then I'm going to as a 10. I'm going Enzo Fernandez as a 10 on the right. Enzo Fernandez on the 10. On the right is Cole Palmer, and on the left is Garnacho. And this is where it gets really interesting for me because playing Enzo Fernandez as a 10, okay, just behind the front line is a bold move for me, but I think he has been doing that very well. We know Enzo's quality on the ball, his vision and his ability to create chances. He has delivered 28 chances this season and has a very very strong goal and assist contribution, which places him higher up. Um, I mean, when we place him higher up, could unlock his attacking potential and allow him to link directly with the wide players. However, it also means a potential void in deeper midfield if we do not have enough defensive cover. But I am trusting Santos and Caicedo to be able to do that to the best and in a very, very good way, especially against a powerhouse like Bruno Guimaraes. Cole Palmer on the right brings creativity. We all know what Cole Palmer is for. His silky dribbling and is a proven goal threat. On the left, Garnacho's inclusion is exciting, but we do not know what to expect from Garnacho every time he's on the ball. He's electric and very direct and capable of moments of magic, which is evidenced by his 18 chances created this season. The pace and flair from Palmer and Garnacho will be key in transition. And this is the big question for me is uh in this predictable lineup is the central striker with uh I think uh going with Joao Pedro will just do the job for me. Right now, Liam Delap is not it. Okay. It just suggests I think when we go with Joao Pedro, it just suggests a very fluid front three, perhaps with Enzo Fernandez pushing high or Garnacho and Palmer drifting centrally. This could either straighten Newcastle's defense or leave us lacking a focal point against their strong centre back. But I'm gonna regardless go with Joao Pedro as the leading striker. We know that he's also in form, and I just want to believe that the game against PSG was just one off moment. And this lineup built for creativity and speed, but potentially vulnerable defensively, and perhaps lacking the necessary skill in center areas. So, uh this game is more than just another Premier League fixture. It's very important and crucial because if we eventually get knocked out of the Champions League, or we do not qualify, even if we end up winning, I still think that it's too high a mountain to climb against PSG. I do not trust our backline. We might end up beating PSG, even beating them, scoring 3 goals at the bridge. But can we trust our defense line to not concede? That's the issue. So we need to now start to take these games in the Premier League very seriously. Okay, and that needs to be uh uh it, that needs to start from this game against against Newcastle. Okay, it's very, very, it's very, very important and an immediate opportunity for Chelsea to show resilience. Like I said, after a devastating European night, Rosenior needs to get his tactical approach right and avoid tinkering. That Luis Enrique seemed that tinkering that Luis Enrique seemed to implicitly criticize. Okay, and providing his players with stability is very, very non-negotiable. The players, particularly the young core, need to exhibit the composure and discipline that has been sorely lacking at times this season. No more throwing away goals and no more lapses in concentration or emotional outbursts. Okay, this is a chance for Sanchez to reestablish himself, for Enzo to thrive in an advanced role, and for Palma Garnacho to ignite our attack. Okay, Newcastle, fresh from their Barcelona battle, will be buzzing and physical and very, very aggressive. St. James Park is never a friend or a warm environment for Chelsea or for away teams. Okay, so a win isn't just going to be 3 points; it's a statement from Chelsea, and it's a message that the PSG result was an anomaly. Okay, and not a blueprint. It's time to see character. Okay, we need to see character. We need anything short of that is not acceptable. Okay, the fight and the talent the squad possesses, we need to start seeing them. And I need to see a disciplined side. Okay, a side that is determined and performance will only depend. It determined. It, so I'm mixing my words to get today. Determined performance will only depend the question, the question surrounding this team. So we need, and I mean it, we need to make a statement win against Newcastle. And anything short of that, like I said, is not acceptable. Let me know what you guys think about everything that I've said in the comments section below. Let's hope for a very gritty, resolute Chelsea performance in this game. I really want to know what you guys think about everything that I've said in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share this video because that's the only way you can help this channel grow. If there's anything that comes up, I will definitely be here to give you guys another video because there is news on Rhys James' contract, and there's also other things I want to talk about with regards to the sporting directors addressing some fans that went on to know what's up with this team, okay, with Chelsea. So until then, I want you to check out this space and turn on your notification bell so that once I do that and post out, you're notified and you can uh, uh, go through and listen to it. Until then, it's Chelsea first, rivals next. Peace.